Let's talk about your FRS Drop Exit Packet. When will you get it? What you need to know, what you need to fill out, and what is not included in that packet. Okay, so if you're in the Florida Retirement System Drop Program, to exit Drop, you receive a Florida Retirement System Drop Exit Packet. You typically will receive that packet 3 to 4 months before your drop exit date. So if the FRS has your correct drop exit date on file, you will automatically receive that. Some people receive it via email, some people receive it via mail, and some people receive it through both mail and email. So just make sure that you've received it. If you're 3 months before your drop exit date and you still haven't received that packet, it's time to contact the Florida Retirement System. Either give them a call if you want to call our office, we can do a conference call with them. You need to make sure that you have that packet, because if not, there's some serious consequences by not getting that filled out and turned in the right timeline. Now, let's say that you're leaving early. Let's say that you've decided, I'm not going to stay my full, drop term, or I extended. I'm deciding to leave early, which a lot of people are, then they don't have the correct date on file. Well, in that case, you will have to let them know. We typically recommend letting them know 3 months ahead of time if you can, but you don't necessarily have to. If some people obviously have to go with shorter notices, but it's important to let them know as soon as you possibly can, so they can get that paperwork to you, so you can get it submitted, and so you can get everything in the correct timeline, which we're going to go over in this video. Okay, so let's say that you have received the Florida Retirement System Drop Exit Packet. First off, in this video, we're not going to go over how to fill out the forms. I actually have a separate playlist, to a link down below, all about how to fill out the individual forms. Some of those it's an older video, so some of the forms look a little different, but they're still the same forms. Or if you really are just doing it yourself and you really want to make sure everything gets done correctly, I highly recommend taking our Florida Retirement System Drop Exit Guide. It's a full guide, 70 videos on how to exit drop, what to do, the paperwork needed, everything that will walk you through step by step, and it doesn't cost anything. So I'll link that down below as well. I recommend, looking at both of those. Anyways, so you've received your paperwork. What's in there? Well, there's a bunch of things in there that you don't need. So there's, information on if you want to roll your money here or there, but the main thing that is going to be in that packet, there's 2 forms. The first form is the Florida Retirement System Drop Termination form, okay? This is the only form that you have to do with your employer, okay? Some of your employers will help you with other ones, but they don't have to. This is the only form that they have to help you with, okay? So the drop termination form is signed off by your employer that you are leaving, because you have to terminate at that date. This needs to be in before your termination date, if at all possible, and it really needs to be in before your termination date. So that's the drop term form, okay? That goes to your employer, if you're taking notes. The other form in there is the drop payment form, okay? So the drop payment form is telling them where to send your drop accumulation money. In there's 3 different options, which we've gone into extensively, and I'll link the videos that we've done up there about the 3 different drop options. But just know you have to send that in no later than 60 days after you separate, after your termination date, and your termination date will be on that form. So just because you have your last day of work, say June 5th, well, if your drop termination date is June 30th, that is your actual termination date based on what the FRS says, right? That's what we're looking at. Just because you've exited with your employer, if they have it as June 30th, that's your drop termination date. So it's 60 days from that date. If you do not get it in on time, your entire amount becomes taxable. It's the same as choosing what we like to call the I Love Uncle Sam option, where it all becomes taxable in that year Big tax liabilities there, but that's what happens if you fail to get it in. Now, those are the two forms that come automatically in that packet, okay? There are 3 other forms that need to be filled out in addition to that. The first form is what's called the DP W4P form, okay? So that's the tax withholding form. Yes, your pension is taxable. You have to pay taxes on your monthly pension amount that will start coming the month after, the end of the month after you separate from drop, okay? So you need to make sure that you fill out that form to have taxes withheld. If not, you're going to end up having to pay a lot of taxes at the end of the year, okay? Because it is taxable as income. The next form that you have to fill out is the direct deposit form, okay? So the FRS for your monthly checks to be direct deposited into your bank, you have to make sure that you fill that out as well. And then the last form, which is really important, is the health insurance subsidy form. So you get $7.50 per year of service, up to capped at 30 years of service, so it's capped at $225 for working with FRS agencies and entities, okay? So if you work 30 years and then you went and drop, you will receive $225 per year of service starting the month after you separate to help pay for your health insurance. Now, a couple, misconceptions. Some people go, well, I'm not staying with my agencies or my school board or whatever it might be. I'm not staying with their insurance, so I don't get the health insurance subsidy. That's not correct. You can have any type of insurance. You just have to show proof. So some people have what's called TRICARE with the government. Well, TRICARE, there's no cost for it at all, and they still get the $225. You might be going on Obamacare. You might be going on Medicare. You still get the $225 per year of service from the Florida retirement system. Now, some of you have, especially there's certain school boards, certain fire departments and police departments, sheriff's offices that they will help pay for, they will help pay even more on top of that. But this is what you get from the Florida retirement system. So you need to make sure you fill out that form and submit it with proof of insurance. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, if you're doing it yourself and you want to make sure it gets done, take that course that I talked about. It's linked down below. Number two, if you need help, if you're just, for some of those of you who are planning on working with us and helping with the financial planning and investments, we take care of those forms for our clients. So if you're working with us, we take care of everything. You don't have to worry about that. We don't charge anything extra for it. It's part of our process to make sure that each one of those forms gets filled out correctly. This is what we do, right? We help people exit drop. So if you need help with that and you plan on working with us, we got you covered, okay? And if you want to work with us or talk with us, please click the link down below. We have a link to our calendar for a complimentary appointment with one of our financial advisors. I try to take as many of those first phone calls as possible. Can't take all of them, but I try to take as many as I can. And we can talk about, the paperwork, the timeline, but also investment options, right? We can go over all that. If you're thinking about doing the I Love Uncle Sam option and you want a second opinion, I'd recommend clicking that calendar link. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope those resources come in and helpful, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Talk to you soon. Thanks, bye.